flipped classroom scaffolding support system is indeed timely as we propel ahead for the 21st century classroom learning and teaching. We need to continuously ask ourselves how we could make learning in the class more effective in such a way that we engage our students more effectively. Perhaps there is no perfect answer, but as we explore, as we reflect, we need to ask ourselves how we could actually leverage on, for example, technology, perhaps the pedagogical aspects, perhaps the learning process to enhance and to propel, to make sure that we can engage our students even more effectively. As such, if we look at this scaffolding support system, it leverages on technology by and large. What do I mean by that? Students do not even need to bring laptops. They could bring their tablets. They could actually operate that in their handphones even. So by that, it actually enhances students' learning flexibility. At the same time, it is also important that we emphasize or we implement a support system that actually enhances or propel students' learning process. And rightfully, and that's exactly what this support system is trying to achieve, where there is an organized, systematic approach where students are being scaffolded in their learning process. Not only that, while this scaffolding unfolds, they could then start inputting not only as an individual learner, but the ability to quickly see, visualize what their other learners within the groups are entering and having a fruitful discussion. As for the instructors, this scaffolding support system comes in very useful, especially for flipped classroom context. As the contents now is taken out and placed outside the classroom, students who are coming to the class have to be engaged in such a way that they are reflecting deeply, thinking critically, and learning effectively. So this scaffolding support system allows instructors to monitor what the students are actually discussing within the groups, not only within the groups, but within the class and intra-group discussions, and then thereafter in class discussions.
Well, I think that this entire support system is actually very effective and meaningful. It has definitely helped to enhance the entire learning process for myself as well as my fellow course mates and classmates. So firstly is that for all the answers, it can actually be typed into our laptops rather than being written on the board. So it actually helps to facilitate by making everything easier. And in addition, all the answers we type into the laptop itself are coded with different colors. So in a way, we can actually look at the answers, and if we have any questions, we can actually find out who is the one typing, and we can help to further question the person as to why they have actually phrased their answers in such a way, and clarify any questions we have regarding these answers. So it helps to facilitate discussion because we get to look at these answers in a more objective manner without taking into consideration who's the one typing. So in addition, apart from that, for our class itself, usually in a traditional system, students are graded based on how vocal they are during class, how actively they participate in Q&A. However, through this entire system, it actually allows students who are usually more quiet to actually voice out their opinions in a more comfortable way. They can actually just type into the laptop itself. So it actually creates a rather holistic grading system because the professor can actually take into consideration not just only how vocal they are in class, but also the quality of answers they actually provide through this entire support system. And moving on, I think another system that is another advantage of this entire system is actually how the notes as well as the inputs are being recorded. So traditionally, all our answers are actually being shared on a whiteboard itself. However, with this system put in place, all the inputs are being recorded. So in a way, after class, students can actually log on into the system again and retrieve all this information. This helps to facilitate the collection of notes as well as the notes writing entire process, which definitely is very beneficial to the entire learning process.
For me, it has changed the whole dynamics of how the class is run and how the class is being taught. It's very different from my other classes. So traditionally, when we go to the classrooms, when we're having our group discussions, it'll just be one person writing the answers on the board and other people will just be throwing out their thoughts. But that also means that those people who are more quiet, more reserved, they won't want to speak up as often. But now with the e-scaffolding system, it ensures that the whole group is able to, write down their thoughts on the go during the whole process. And yeah, that just ensures a lot of new perspectives, new learning points, and it makes the whole experience much more collaborative than the traditional method.
So in terms of collaboration wise, because when during tutorials we have various questions that are split into different parts, when we are working on this support system itself, we'll actually split up the parts among our group mates and we'll actually perhaps pair together to tackle one question. All of us will have different inputs. So at the end of the day, when we actually piece out all the different inputs together to form the entire answers for our questions, it allows us to actually collaborate with each other, and in addition to critically analyze each other's answers. So if there are any discrepancy between our answers, or perhaps we don't really agree with each other's points, right? All these answers are open for discussion, so we can actually just raise our questions as well as clarify with our classmates why do they phrase their answers accordingly. So in a way, it allows us to actually exchange our ideas as well as tackle these questions with different perspectives.
For me personally, I feel that it actually enhances the whole efficiency of learning, because as opposed to a traditional learning environment where students actually have to consolidate their thoughts before actually writing down on a whiteboard, for example. Whereas with this particular system, students can actually come in and input their contributions concurrently and simultaneously. This not only helps to save time, it also provides a presentation style that is easily communicated when it comes to their group to present their ideas. So I feel this as a whole, it's actually enhancing the efficiency of learning, and it also enhances the quality of learning as well.